So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our another special Q&A. And before we get started, I just want to make a big announcement. My Charadhasha course is now open since yesterday on my academy, Magha Vedic Astrology Academy, for which the link will be in the description and in the comment section. Or you can just go to astrologykrs.com here under course section. It's at the very bottom, Charadhasha course, where I'll be discussing everything from, Ghatika Lagna and Aruda Lagna and what is it called, Indu Lagna, and all the concepts and simplified concepts of predicting through Charadhasha. Like Charadhasha is simple. Once you just get it, it's simple. All right, so it's now on, and I've already uploaded like 6-7 lessons up there, and I'm gonna start making predictive lessons from today or tomorrow on all the things about promotion, children, spirituality, guru, property, this and that. All right. So now, let's come back to our Q&A. So our first Q&A is from Tech Savvy Buddy. Can you discuss which planetary settings will give a person magnetic personality? Okay. So there's many ways. The most simplest way is this. Whenever Jupiter aspects moon in the birth or Navamsha or both, especially both, extremely strong. But if in birth or just Navamsha, that naturally gives an attractive personality to an individual. That magnetic personality. That people are attracted to this person. Like, for example, if Jupiter is conjunct or aspects Sun, then it gives regal status. Especially if it aspects Sun and Moon both. But we're talking about magnetic personality. We're not talking about regal and royalness. Because you could be an average person, yet people are just attracted to be your friend, attracted to know you. They're attracted to what you have to say. And that happens when Jupiter is conjunct or aspects the Moon. Either in birth or Navamsha or either or both. Okay, so this is a simple technique. Versus me talking about some nakshatra and your ascendant lord has to be here. Well, then I'm going to create 20 different scenarios. Just look at this simple thing and you can test it out. Okay. The next question is from Sudeshnaz. I really wish you have discussed on the month of April when so many planets are changing signs, and also in which cases astrology predictions fail. Sometimes in the case of some charts, no astrologer can predict proper events and certain duration in events. If they predicted goes wrong. Yes. Okay, so let me first answer the fact that yes, there are planetary placements where people and astrologers will have the hardest time in predicting. When Jupiter is damaged, conjunct the 8th Lord in the 8th house, okay? Especially when it's hindered by malefics, including the 8th Lord or in the 8th house, that will damage the scenario of them getting the proper prediction. You see the dogs are barking. They're saying, pay attention to this, listen to this. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. And there are many other placements. But yes, there are charts that you just can't predict on. You'll fail miserably. And this is why, like many of you have probably gotten refunds from me saying that, look, Prashna is not allowing me to do this. And then what happens is I've had this one individual get reading from me 6 times. Prashna did not allow me to do it. And that's when I even realized that, this is that placement. Jupiter being in a damaged position, debilitated, connected with the 8th Lord, the Prashna would not allow me to give them a reading. So, and that's what happens. If it doesn't allow me, sometimes it'll allow me the next time you get the reading. So many of you must have gotten readings twice. I refunded. Third time I gave you the reading. Second time I gave you the reading. So, but sometimes I've seen it. It's not just one time, several times. A person who have gotten multiple times, and I just couldn't do it. And when I forced myself to do it, just to try, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work out at all. Even at one point, my software froze and failed. It just shut down. That's when I knew I shouldn't be even looking at this chart and working with this chart. Now, let's come to the thing that you really wanted me to talk about, the April transit, right? Everything is changing in April. Saturn is changing sign, Jupiter is changing sign, Rahu Ketu have already changed signs, Mars is changing sign, Venus has changed sign. First of all, do not rely fully on transits to determine what's going to happen in your life. Because then it becomes that cheap television astrology. You know, where they say, चंद्रमा आपके 12वें घर में आ रहा है और मंगल के ऊपर से जा रहा है और यहां पर आपको जॉब मिलेगी, आपको फॉरेन ट्रैवल होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. कुछ नहीं होता. कुछ भी नहीं होता. Why, when these transits, surface online, that, oh, it's going to transit your 10,000, you're going to have fame and you're going to have this, you're going to have that. Nothing of that sort happens. They never pay attention to the dasha. Pay attention to the dasha, then talk about it. This is why you will see I'm the least person on YouTube to make videos on transits. I do make it because, again, it is something that is pressured to me by so many people. And then I'll just make major transit videos of Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu changing signs. Okay, fine. But for me to make weekly, monthly videos, it's an abomination of this excellent science of astrology. But since you have requested, let's talk about it. And let's talk about it on my digital whiteboard. Let's look at the transits. Okay. So we are seeing that this month, okay, Jupiter is going to be entering into the sign of Pisces. Number 12 is the sign of Pisces. Saturn is going to be entering Aquarius for a couple of months before it retrogrades back to the sign of Capricorn. At the same time, Mars is going to be entering the sign of Aquarius this month. Okay? And then you have Rahu and Ketu in the 1-7 axis, meaning Aries and Libra axis. Also, if you want to go a little bit further deeper, for the month of April, from April 15th or 14th onwards, Sun is going to be entering the sign of Pisces. So here's the thing. If you just want to know about this month itself, right? If you just want to know about the month itself, this is creating a particular yoga. What is the yoga? I have no idea the name of the yoga. But this is a yoga of either going or building or donating to a temple. Donating to a temple. Whenever Jupiter and Sun come together, in one house, especially the house of spiritual divinity, you will see masses of people around the world will suddenly feel like either they want to donate to a temple, church, synagogue, mosque. They want to perhaps endorse and give money, donate money, building and construction of a mosque. So somebody who's super rich will be like, you know what, I want to build a temple. I want to build this Buddhist temple in my area. Here's the money. Okay? But also, if we go back, Jupiter in the 12th house naturally, right? For the whole year, being in the 12th house, majority of the people will finally understand, realize, and focus on peace. Peace. Divinity. wanting to take on pilgrimage to places where they can meet somebody to guide them. You will see majority of the group of people this year will be somehow attracted towards things like Vipassana, attracted to things like going to monasteries, Buddhist monasteries. Okay? You will especially, like, for example, because we're looking at natural 12th house, the natural 12th house of the zodiac, which is also the sign of Pisces. Okay? And Jupiter is a jiva. It's a jiva karka. It gives life to everything it touches. This is why, because Sun is conjunct Jupiter, the jiva yoga related to building of divinity and temples happen. Okay? And it's so funny. I was actually at a temple, even though Sun is not there, but see, Moon was in Pisces yesterday. And wait, did I delete that photograph? Oh, I deleted it. I'll put it up. It's still in my phone, I'm sure. I went to a beautiful temple with big, huge statues of Ram and Hanuman and Shiva. I felt like I was in South India somewhere, you know? And actually, I can show you from my Instagram. Yeah, it is my Instagram. I can't even show you that. Well, look, right there. Look at that temple. So Moon was transiting in Pisces. Naturally, I somehow wanted to go to a temple. Okay. But Jupiter in Pisces will suddenly bring about resurgence of spirituality. Okay. So Jupiter here, actually I like that color thing. Sun. So Jupiter here, look what it's doing. From the sign of Pisces, it's looking at the original moksha triangle. It's looking at an original moksha triangle. When was the last time Jupiter was in Pisces? 2010. It was 2010 when I actually really started, although it was 2009, 2010. I clearly remember suddenly wanting to listen to certain gurus. Actually, even Sadhguru in 2010, I found out about him. And it just kind of like built that foundation of understanding. And then Yogananda came in 2015. But see, this is again becomes a restart for people to start understanding their divinity, focusing on spirituality. Even this is going to be the time you're going to see if there's some software that can show us what's happening. If there's some website, you will see that in 2022 and some 2023, maximum amount of yoga studios will be open. Maximum amount of people will be going on some kind of a pilgrimage in some, like especially countries like India, Thailand, China, Tibet, Nepal. They're going to have great interest towards that because now the jiva is in Pisces. People are like, I'm so sick and tired of whatever BS that I have dealt with in these 11 houses. Okay? Like, I'm so done with the BS of these 11 houses that I've dealt with. I need help. That's what happens. Okay? And then you're seeing Saturn going into the sign of Aquarius for a couple of months. Its own Mool Trikon sign. Now, how will it be in your chart? Again, I don't know. I have to see what planet it's going over. What is its, Ashtaka Varga? What dasha is running? So how is it going to interact with that dasha? But Saturn naturally in the sign of Aquarius settles down, okay? It settles down the marketplaces. it starts bringing stability into the marketplaces. But again, it's going to go retrograde. That stability will be gained and then lost quickly. Because then it's going to go retrograde back into the sign of Capricorn, where again, the authoritarianism of government becomes active. Here, what's happening is the government, which is the original 10th house, starts to understand the quantum thought process of the masses, what the people want. They will start settling things down. They will start listening. But then what's going to happen when Saturn comes back into Capricorn? They go back to their authoritarian way. Yeah, enough of listening. Okay, fine. But we're going to do what we have to do. And remember, and I may put that video up regarding the Russia-Ukraine thing, when I used the Sarvobhadra Chakra of Saturn being in Dhanishta and also affecting the nakshatra of Saravana. This is where I saw things churning, especially with Mars also entering into the sign of Capricorn. And there's also a date, I believe is June second week or July second week. I saw some triggering of some event. Okay, I think I've already put that on my KRS blogs already. Now, what else happens? In those 2 months, what else is happening? The double transit of Jupiter and Saturn affects the sign of Scorpio. Okay. There will be a sudden transformation, change, but also main thing it shows, some hidden things will come out. Some hidden information comes out in the world. It also shows major focus happens towards what? Things which are buried underground. And what is Scorpio? Oil. Even though because of the Ukraine-Russia conflict, oil is being affected, this point, literally this month, this is going to somehow bring some form of either a relief. Because look, the double transit is on Scorpio. Anything which is buried underground. Right now, we already know with what's happening in the world, oil is the number one thing. So this Jupiter-Saturn transit shows whatever havoc is being caused, it'll be relieved for some time related to oil. But then when Saturn goes retrograde, then that, I wouldn't say protection, but then that positive impact is removed. The positive impact is removed. Then again, we have to deal with the conflicts. We again have to deal with the conflicts. And at the same time, Saturn coming back retrograde, okay, into the Capricorn, the double transit then affects the sign of Pisces. And this is why we see both Jupiter and Saturn focusing their energy into the sign of Pisces. People are just no longer going to tune into drama. So if let's say you will see between this entire year, it'll go back when Jupiter goes into Aries. This entire year, most of the TV shows that have anything to do with drama, like Housewives, Indian soap operas, they will see some form of a decline in their ratings. They will see decline in their ratings because people will be more, apted to focus on their energy upon listening to something more divine. You can actually see which show, what type of category of shows will be seen as the most viewed, most watched. See, in the past year, if you look, Saturn is here. And so if you look, Oops. Jupiter is here. And then Saturn is here. Okay. It is all showing nothing but people's focus on government, news, politics. Okay. And then the double transit has been on the sign of Libra. People have been focusing on their marriage. People have been focusing on wanting to initiate some business. You have no idea how many readings I've done of people in the pandemic on wanting to start their own business. They had it with this whole, 9 to 5 slavery of the corporate life. They're like, can I do it? Can I do it? Some could, some I couldn't see it, the combinations of doing that. So this was the focus. This has been the focus as I speak right now. But it's going to change. The focus is dramatically going to change in April, as you wanted me to show you, since the things are changing. Jupiter, okay, and then Saturn. So these points, these becomes the point, but majority of the year it's going to be this. It's going to be this. Now, the complication of Rahu and Ketu becomes, okay, number one, where is their dispositor transiting? Okay, Rahu's dispositor is in Capricorn, ready for war. Then it's going to go into Aquarius, ready for negotiations. Then is going to be going to the 12th house, lot of resolving issues with foreign things, shipping. What do you call that? What is that word? Supply chain issue. Because remember, everything gets shipped. So Jupiter's there. Supply chain issue will start to resolve. Okay. And so this is how you will see wherever Mars is transiting, that becomes the focus here. If we look at Ketu, okay, wherever Venus is transiting, whichever sign Venus is transiting in, that becomes the primordial focus of this particular Ketu. Okay. Then you have to worry about the nakshatra of Rahu and Ketu. Like it's in Vishaka. Indra, war. In Swati, you're going to see a lot of tornadoes becoming active. A lot of issues related to, especially, I don't know if I want to say this, but yeah, I won't say it. I won't say it. Okay. Well, I'll let you guys figure it out. Now, worldly wise, again, this is going to become another hour too long video, because then I have to go through Mars transit, Venus transit, then their nakshatra changes. Complicated. But I just wanted to show you, what quickly Jupiter Saturn will do. Otherwise I don't really find much interest in transits. All right. So anyway, guys, remember my nakshatra, or my Chara Dasha course is now active. My nakshatra course is also there on my academy, but nakshatra or Chara Dasha course is now active. I'm actually going to be making video in the evening, and unless I go to the cabin, maybe I'll make a video there. Actually, I can't because I don't have my whiteboard there. But I will either make a video today or tomorrow for the lesson related to childbirth. Then we'll focus on marriage the next day. Okay? See you later. Bye-bye.